I don't know about you, but the anxiety is kicking in. So how about a little levity?
Got a free sign here. Trump won the 2020 election.
You think Donald Trump won the 2020 election?
He always wins.
Yes?
He always wins.
All right, you're going to like this sign here. Donald Trump won the 2020 election. You can have that.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
The other side says Donald Trump lost the 2020 election by a whisker. Because he says that too.
Other side says Donald Trump lost the 2020 election by a whisker. Because he also says that.
Yes.
Because Donald Trump says both things.
Yeah.
So whichever one he says, you hold up the sign for.
Okay.
Okay?
What happens if he changes it up and there's a third saying today?
What do you think the third one could be?
The third one is the runaway Trump train.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Too big to
You
read.
can't really have a three-sided sign.
If Trump says, I won the 2020 election,
Yeah.
hold up this side.
Right.
And if he says, I lost the 2020 election by a whisker, you hold up that side.
Awesome.
Okay.
I
Now,
got it.
It should be noted that those are in conflict with one another, those two thoughts.
Right.
But just go along with it. It'll make him feel good.
Obviously, Donald Trump did not win the 2020 presidential election. Joe Biden, our current president, did. The Good Liars is a comedy team that travels around the country attending rallies and political events, interviewing supporters, and sometimes brushing up against politicians. Here with us now is one half of the team, Jayson Selvig, whose birthday it is also, so happy birthday, Jason, Election Day.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah. Last year was daylight savings ending, and this year it's election day. So I've got no luck on my birthday.
So last night was possibly Donald Trump's very last rally. How are you feeling today? Is this an end of an era for you? Are you retiring? Like, what number rally was this?
I have no idea what number rally it is. I hope I'm retiring from this. We've been to a lot of Trump rallies, and we actually started this whole cycle, I guess, for us, started on January 6th, 2021. And I think it kind of shaped the last 4 years, at least for us, as the Good Liars, going out there and going to these events. So I hope it's the last rally, but we will see, because it doesn't seem like, from the people we've talked to, that the election will end on election night or when the election is called. Just my prediction from the people we've talked to on the ground and what we've heard from the speakers at the rallies.
So what impressions have you formed of the people who show up to these Trump rallies? What compels them to attend, and what do they like about the former president so much?
Well, I think it's, a lot of people will say, like, what policies are really getting through that Donald Trump is putting out there. But I think you kind of hit it with your question. It is Donald Trump. These people love Donald Trump. They love his personality. And I think a lot of the things that people on the left see as negatives about Donald Trump, and, when he'll say something that's really out there, there's always this feeling, oh, it's over. This is over. Like, Donald Trump just said the worst thing possible. That is what people like about Donald Trump. That's what people go to the rallies to see. They want to see somebody who is authentic, even if that means going out there and saying some terrible things. So people are drawn to the personality and feeling like there's someone who is fighting for them out there. And I think that a lot of people are upset, with the status quo, or what the world was like when they didn't feel like they were represented in Washington. And now with Donald Trump, they actually feel like they have, like, their guy there.
So I have to ask, since you've been doing these, I mean, obviously you don't just do rallies, but this is 9 years, right? Donald Trump has been running for president for 9 years. I can see your face, and it's been your life. How have the rallies changed? Like, how has the MAGA movement changed through your eyes on the ground? Because, I think for us as reporters, we very much look at it empirically through these little sound bites, through exit polls even, but you're there on the ground in the, listening to the movement and the vibes. How has it shifted over the years?
Well, I think from the very beginning, it was Donald Trump with this message of immigration. And a lot of the people, like I said before, were upset with the status quo. And now, like, over the last, 9 years going to these events, we've been to all sorts of events from all sorts of candidates. Donald Trump's just been the candidate for the last few election cycles for presidential elections. So the last few years, we've seen a change, though, and the conspiratorial thinking is much stronger there now. Like, we've seen, I think, every rally we go to, there's somebody that believes JFK Jr. is alive and is working with Donald Trump behind the scenes. We've talked to people who believe Joe Biden was replaced by a body double. And it's not just like, you could say, like, oh, that's just a few people. But if you go to a rally and you talk to 30 people and one of them every single rally believes that Joe Biden has been replaced by a body double, in some cases they believe it's an actor playing him and the actor is Jim Carrey. Like you hear these things over and over again at rallies, and you realize this conspiratorial thinking has really like rooted itself in the Donald Trump's movement. And if you look at conspiracy, like Donald Trump himself is a conspiracy theorist. He's already like spreading lies about this election, what's happening now. And he said the 2020 election was stolen. And if you throw all the JFK Jr., the Jim Carrey, and the body double stuff out the window, I would say 99% of the people we talk to, when we ask who won the 2020 election, says Donald Trump did. So it is not there. I think there's just an overwhelming majority that believe that a huge conspiracy theory that is basically, the backbone of our democracy is believing that we have free and fair elections. So it has changed in a very dramatic way over the last couple of years.
Just a quick follow-up to that, because you threw out some zingers. I'm curious what's on the editing floor, and like what are some of the big ones that have shocked you? Because I can imagine it's not possible to be shocked at this point, but there's got to be a couple.
Well, look, when we go out, it's like you look at what people say. Like sometimes, and especially in the South, I don't want to like overgeneralize here, but in the South, like you can hear some things that are just like straight up racist or straight up homophobic, transphobic, things like that. And those things we usually don't put out because it's just like, what is this doing for the world, putting this out into the world? But there's also been new conspiracy theories that we've heard now about the hurricanes that hit North Carolina, right here in North Carolina, where I am right now, where people believe that the government is controlling the weather and purposely sent the hurricanes to North Carolina to, one, affect the election because they hit all red counties, and then two, to do something for lithium mining and take over the land there. And these are like things now that we hear at every single rally too. Like, and to say that these are like fringe conspiracy theories is wrong, because you have Marjorie Taylor Greene, like she's tweeted very similar things to these things, and it's been out there. And she is a congressperson from Georgia. It's a mainstream MAGA belief now, and it's something that 12 years ago you would say like there's no way people would be saying this at a political rally for Mitt Romney. Like you weren't going to have people out there who were saying this, and now we find it at least once since the hurricanes hit, we've heard it at a rally. So we do hear some very out there things.
You don't think if you go to rallies for Democratic politicians or left-wing causes, I mean, I've been to some of them, that you wouldn't hear very crazy things being said as well, and you have people throwing, cans of soup at paintings and that kind of behavior?
Well, I think that's a fair question to ask. And I do think, yes, you might hear some things that are out there, conspiracy theories. But I think overall, as a whole, there isn't a belief on the left right now of a huge, big conspiracy theory that is basically what is driving a whole presidential campaign. And in this case, the conspiracy theory is that Donald Trump won the 2020 election and there was widespread voter fraud, and that has not been proved anywhere. It's been thrown out in court. Trump's own attorney general found no evidence of it. And I just don't think that there is both sides on some of the maybe really out there conspiracy theories, but not the main big conspiracy theory that is the driving force of this presidential election.
Quickly push back on that, and I'll let you respond again.
Sure.
But, maybe not right now, but in the wake of 2016, the idea that Russian malfeasance itself caused Hillary Clinton to say the election was illegitimate was a major talking point in mainstream media. I wouldn't say this is the left. I would say this is like liberal, center-left, progressive people. Pervasive idea that there was something wrong with that election because of Russian involvement that I don't think has held up very well in terms of the evidence of that. That was pretty pervasive, no?
Well, you could say that those were talking points on the left, but you didn't have somebody running for president with that as their campaign platform, which is that we're going to get rid of all this voter fraud, where this was stolen from us and we have to like right this wrong. You didn't see Joe Biden running for president saying, "Oh, this was a stolen election." He didn't win a primary with that as his campaign slogan, is we're gonna stop the steal this time. And also the biggest point I would say is you didn't see a mob of Hillary Clinton supporters stormed the Capitol during the certification of the presidential election. So I just don't think if you're weighing it, I just don't think that it's anywhere close to the same.
Jayson, I have enjoyed your Democratic videos as well, where you were in particular challenging Joe Biden. It's very funny moments. So I definitely encourage people to check that out. Also, you can check out, you have a new special on YouTube called The Good Liars Fix America, maybe. I don't know. That could be it. It's your birthday.
We'll see. We'll see.
Thank you so much for joining us. Big night. So I hope you get some rest.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
That does it for us today on Rising, but we will be back later tonight and then much, much later tonight to bring you the Hill's election coverage from about 7 p.m. on till midnight. You won't want to miss that. And then, of course, we'll be back here tomorrow to talk about the results. If we have them, we may not know, but we might. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss any of our content. And for those of you who like to listen while on the go, you may do that as well. And we will see you later.